Alright, so today we're back down at Madonna at the end of the carpet track, and I'm going to try and cross this little hole. Well, actually it's the edge of a lagoon, but anyway. I came down here about 7 PM last night, tried to follow this little old track, got marked on the map here, see how close out to the coast we could get. Bit of a roadblock. She's a fair chunk of firewood. Woohoo! And another one. And more. Oh. See how much further we get this time. More trees. Averaging a tree every 75 to 100 metres. Slow progress. And another one. So I pulled the pin on that about 2 AM. Found a nice little camp spot down by the lagoon. So I've detoured the carpet track because I'm thinking this is going to take up most of our day. I don't know. It's all going to come down to how fast I can go. I'm going to want some pace on for that one. So once she loses momentum, that's it, she'll sink. If I can sort of get a wheel up here, I'll be happy. Set a strap up on that tree. Oh yeah. We're gonna be stuck. Oh. through. Glad I saved the can. There's 4 yellow grid mesh tracks in there somewhere. That was hardly worth a around. And we're back on this side. I've got about 3/4 of the way across. Got overexcited. Forgot how to change gears. Went 2nd to 5th. Anyway, spoke about over it now. Yeah. Whew, tire's going out a bit. Oh dear. I got a bit rangry at this stage. I was more worried about getting the car going than filming, so I didn't get any footage of the following 6 hours I spent trying to fix it. So I've just come down the back of home, staged a little reenactment today and just show you what we had to do to get it going. I winched it back a little bit further out of the puddle. So then I took the airbox off to see if it had gotten any water in there. These make a handy little container. So I've got the airbox off and found this a tide line through about here, just past halfway. I pulled the plugs out, wound it over a bit, tipped some fuel down the throttle body and kept cranking it a bit with the plugs out to try and push some of the water out. So then I went check spark. When I'd hit the key, very first time it had cranked, it did spark once and then nothing. Disconnected the battery, tried this again, same thing. The starter motor had been occasionally not cranking, just clicking. It now decided to give up completely. Had a spare one of them, so while we were at it, replaced that. So anyway, I checked all the fuses inside and out, checked all the electrical connections, pulled this panel off, checked all the electrical connections under there and give them a clean up. The BCM had actually just dipped into the water, so that was a bit of a concern as well. So at that stage I thought I'd better check the timing, and it was then I realised I didn't have a 22mm socket to undo the bolt on the harmonic balancer. I decided I'd remove all the side bolts out of the timing covers, remove the small cover, take the alternator off and take the crankshaft sensor out, so we should be able to see the timing mark on the crank pulley, and get these covers out of the way enough to see the ones on the cams. Pull the fans out. She sounds mint. Sounds like a supercharger at the moment. Remove the rest of the bolts from the timing cover. So now I was able to see the cam pulleys, and they were both in time. Pulled that out. Now, I've never checked timing on them through there. Pretty hard to see. And so I've looked down through this hole. Not that I could see much at all, but to me it looked as though it was all in time. I replaced this coil, tried again, spark once and nothing. Because the BCM had got a little bit wet, I thought that may have been an issue. So I replaced the ECU, the BCM and the key, and also replaced this crankshaft sensor. Yes, I do carry all this crap with me, and gone back through, repeated all these steps, double checked everything to make sure I hadn't missed something. Everything sort of kept coming back to it being a timing issue. I really needed to be able to confirm that the timing was right. So I decided I'd have to get this cover off with the harmonic balancer in place. To do that, you need one of these, and you also need one of these. Now once you've got all the bolts out, you could get that one too, but I just left him. What you want to do is insert that about there and give him a little, like so. And that will free up this cover a bit, and then you just start apply a little bit of force and you just remove them a piece at a time. Right, I think you've got to give him a little perfect. I think that's how it came out. Put it that way. There you go. That bit there. Maybe another little wacky whack there. Another one there. That last piece just comes out like that. You just sit all those there, like so, and then you probably just throw them in the fire. Once you've got all that out of the way, it makes this pulley much easier to see. So I've checked the timing again, brought these cams around, and they were both on 12 o'clock, and sure enough, the crank was stuck back here around 9:45. So it had hydraulic locked and jumped 4 or 5 teeth on the crank pulley. Both the cams were still in time, which is I think what threw me in the first place. Oh, that's my excuse as to why I checked the timing incorrectly when I was looking through there. Got my little pry bar in there, It's probably not great for the belt, but applied a little bit of force and then slip the lockout pin that lives on the keyring into the tensioner. Then I was able to reset the timing, so I got all that back together with a newfound hope that she was just going to fire straight up. Hit the key and still nothing. So at this point it was about 8 o'clock, pretty depressed and debating whether I should just go to sleep and see what tomorrow brings, or just push the car forward onto the fire I'd lit. I'd winched it backwards out of the hole and been winding it over a fair bit without any charge going back into it. It's starting to crank pretty slowly. Decided I'd give it one more try, cranked it for a bit, started firing just on one cylinder. It actually sounded like an old hit and miss motor, but it was running. Kept going like that for a few seconds. Another cylinder kicked in. Shortly after that, third one. I thought, well, 3 cylinders will get us home. She cleared the lungs, gave it a couple of taps on the limiter, good as gold. So now I was happy. Yeah! Changed everything. Checked the tiring twice. Didn't check it properly the first time. Jumped a few teeth on the crank timing. And then it only just wanted to go, but one cylinder came back, then they all joined in. She's loving life now. Put this out, get the on out of here.